Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Ultra Analyzed Dictionary from Ultraman Z. The packaging is pretty basic. It really just says DX Ultra Analyzed Dictionary on 3 of the sides of the box. And then you just kind of have your generic warnings there on the bottom. Around here on the back, really just more warnings. You are going to need 3 AAA batteries, as it details right there. But yeah, you can see we have a ton of different Ultra Metals here on the front. And you can kind of see like a rough outline of the dictionary here. It's kind of like a Pokedex for Ultra Metals, if that makes any sense, if you're familiar with the Pokemon franchise at all, which I'm sure you undoubtedly are. But yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll get this thing out of the box so we can take a closer look. So here's everything you get in the box. Of course, we have the dictionary. We also get a new Ultra Metal for Ultraman Trigger. Looking pretty good. We'll come back to this more in a moment. Just going to sit that off to the side. And we will focus on the dictionary itself. We have some nice metallic red paint here on the top. Underneath, you have the battery compartment with just one of those kind of circular tabs that you just depress so you can slide the cover off. And then you load in your 3 AAA batteries. Got the on and off switch there. You have the latch release here for the cover, which we can open up. Now you just kind of have this big sticker here for the screen loadout, just to kind of simulate what it might show. You have some various stats and things. You have a little silhouette of a monster here that kind of looks like Gomora. It would have been neat to have an actual LED screen, maybe display the name of the monster or the Ultraman that you're reading the metal of, but I understand that would have significantly increased the price of this item, and I understand why that did not happen. We have the speaker here. You have 3 buttons, one for dictionary mode, voice mode, and then the enter button. We will go ahead and turn this on. So you can see we get a little bit of the LED right here that lights up around the reader. Very nice green color there. So I will go ahead and bring Trigger back in, and you just kind of rest it right on here. It doesn't click into place or anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be exactly centered, but as long as it's in there. Now if you hit the enter button before you choose either of the modes, just kind of gives you a generic sound there. So we will start with dictionary mode. And then just hit the enter button. So it gives a little bit of his stats. It talks about how tall he is. I'm thinking it's saying that it's balance type instead of multi-type, which I guess could make sense as for a name for it. Now it also talks about like his weapon. It mentions the circle arms and things like that. So it's kind of neat. Gives you kind of a little, like, not necessarily biography, but just kind of like a little bit of his stats and a little bit about the character, which is kind of cool. So if we try voice mode. So it just said Ultraman Trigger balance type, and then you just kind of have him making a sound. So that's pretty much it for that. That's really all you get per metal. Now it does read a ton of different metals, but that's really all that's it for the new Trigger metal. So I just wanted to bring in a couple random metals. I just went through my collection and chose a couple at random. The nice thing is if you got some of the later sets that the DX Z Riser could not read, this will read them. So that's kind of fun. So here's one from an older set. I think this is Sora. So that time it wasn't even a sound from the actual Ultraman. It was just kind of a generic attack sound or power-up sound. I'm not quite sure. Alright, next up I believe this is Orb. Alright, next up we have just another one I grabbed at random. I think this is, actually I'm not sure what this is. Let's just try it out. So that's kind of cool. It's Ginga Victory. It talks about how Ginga and Victory fuse together. Alright. Up next, I think this is the next. Alright. And then, of course, we have the original Ultraman. And then I also wanted to try a monster, so here's Zeton. So I also wanted to just kind of grab a couple of the random special ones that we've had. This was the promotional item for Zero and Jeed. So that's pretty cool. It kind of does a little bit about each of them. Alright, up next I have this 10th anniversary Zero medal. So pretty much just treats it like Zero. Next up I have this Merry Christmas one. So it kind of talks about the specific Delta Rise claw form. I imagine this would be the same sounds you would get if you had the Memorial Edition that came with the actual medals for each of the individual forms. So I think that's kind of cool. Kind of a bummer, it doesn't say anything specific to Christmas, but still pretty cool. And then this one I just have, this is the All Brothers Ultra Kyodai, so we'll see what this does. So that's kind of cool. It just actually lists all 6 of them. So, and again, it's all 6 of them just kind of making a noise. So, pretty cool. So before we finish up, I just wanted to show off the new trigger metal in the Z Riser. So not surprisingly, it just says Ultra Hero because they didn't really have Trigger in mind when they made this. If you have the Memorial Edition, it actually does read it as Trigger, which is cool. I unfortunately do not have that. But if you have the Memorial Z Riser, it will read it as Trigger. But in the normal DX one, it just says Ultra Hero. I think this is a pretty fun release. It might not look like much, but it does have a lot of functionality packed into it. I mean, yes, it would have been nice if there was an LED screen up here, but that would have significantly increased the price, so I completely understand why they didn't go for that. But like I said, still a lot of functionality here. It can read all of the medals, and if you're like me and you never got the Memorial Edition Z Riser, this is a way for you to read all of those medals you may have that the normal DX Z Riser can't read, so it kind of fills that hole, and it's significantly cheaper than the Memorial Edition Z Riser. So that's kind of cool. I also really like getting the trigger metal here. Very cool. It can be read by this. Obviously can't be read by the normal DX Z Riser, but can be read by the Memorial Edition Z Riser if you do have that. But either way, just really cool to get a trigger metal. I just love the metal aspect. I love that kind of gimmick item, and I just kind of want it to keep going. I don't know how much farther it will go, but maybe. I feel like by the time this came out, they already knew what the show after Trigger was going to be, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a medal for the next series that could be read by this. We'll have to wait and see, but wouldn't surprise me if that's built into this. So really cool. I think this is a lot of fun. Definitely recommend picking it up. It was a premium Bandai release, so if you didn't get one at this point, your best bet is to probably check like Mandarake, Yahoo Japan Auctions, things like that. Toe Collectibles might have some still. I don't know. I don't know if they got any extras in their order or not. So you could try that first, and then if you have to kind of check out Mandarake after that. But secondary market site's probably your best bet for one of these. But I think it's a lot of fun. Definitely think it's worth checking out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.